We're in the Grand Tetons and we're heading over to the Coulter Bay RV Resort. This was just a little turnout that we thought we'd stop in and have a look at the Tetons. We're taking another little detour before we head over to Coulter Bay RV Resort, and we are stopping back again at Oxbow Bend. We absolutely love it up there. We're over here at Oxbow Bend. This place is just unbelievable. And this is south of Coulter Bay RV Resort and north of Jenny Lake. What a heck of a view here.
You could sit right in here.
There's tons of people come up here just to gawk. It's just gorgeous. Look at all the kayakers out there. Really pretty spot. Driving through the Grand Tetons. Make a right here for Jenny Lake and Moose. Oh, they're saying Jackson to go this way also. Little view of the Grand Tetons as well as Moran.
Over here for a second?
Sure. Unbelievably beautiful.
My camera's way in the back.
We're at Jackson Lake Dam and Reservoir right now. Here comes Ronnie. Hello. Yeah, this is a nice little site. Come on, Rocky. See what's inside this little kiosk. So there's some different things here depending on water. Some scenes from Jackson Lake and Reservoir.
You want to do a selfie here?
The lighting's really bad right now. But here's some views of the Tetons and Moran, and Mount Moran. Some of the surrounding area. This is just a pull out right here. Gorgeous, just gorgeous. Like scenic drive, and pretty soon we'll be coming up on that iconic photo of Jenny Lake where you see the Grand Tetons reflected into the lake, and that's Jenny Lake. Either way, up here they have a Jenny Lake Lodge. They've got all kinds of hiking trails, that sort of thing. It's really very beautiful in here. Again, Jenny Lake Scenic Drive.
Is this the overlook?
Must be coming up. Jenny Lake, viewing the Grand Tetons. Shooting video of this. There's some more of the Tetons. turned off on Coulter Bay Road. Wow, look at that scenery right there. So we are over here in the Grand Tetons, and tonight we are staying. Yes. Hey, Ro.
Hello.
Tonight we're staying over at Coulter Bay RV Resort. This place is fabulous. They have a marina, they have a visitor center, they've got a beach, there's a big lake out here. Heck, they've got everything. Anyway, we really like this place. It's an excellent campsite. Our site is nice and level. Bathrooms are just right across the way. They do have showers, laundry. You know, they've got it all here. I highly recommend Coulter Bay RV Resort. They've got RV camping, they've got regular tent camping areas, they've got dry camping areas. They've also got a nice lodge if you'd like to stay, or cabins I should say. The place is humongous, it's like a whole city. It's really cool. Okay, so I'm walking to the store from our campsite, and this is Coulter Bay RV Resort. Really nice place. Anyway, I didn't get to take a heck of a lot of video yesterday. We did take a bunch of pictures down on the beach, though. This is the little trail to the beach area, adjacent to our campsite, and really, really pretty. So this is on the other side of our campsite. There's been a mama bear and 2 baby cubs running around lately. We haven't seen them yet. There's a lot of nice little trails to take around here also. It's quiet and very well maintained. A lot of the sites are very level. We're very fortunate to have an extremely level site. We like it. So we're walking distance to the beach, which we will go after we have dinner. We're going to go down to the beach for sunset, and you can see the Grand Tetons from our beach. The human history of Jackson Hole and the Teton Range dates back thousands of years. The stunning beauty and abundant wildlife and plants found here has drawn humans to this place for more than 11,000 years. Nomadic Paleo-Indians first entered the Jackson Hole Valley shortly after Ice Age glaciers retreated. They left behind teepee rings, fire pits, and stone tools. Summers were a time of abundance, and modern-day Indian tribes came to harvest bulbs and berries, fish the lakes and streams, and hunt wildlife. With the approach of the harsh winter, indigenous people followed their prey out of the valley in search of a milder weather. The first Euro-American explorer who may have entered Jackson Hole was John Colter. He served as a member of the Lewis and Clark Corps of Discovery expedition, but he left the expedition in the fall of 1806 and traveled through the region in the winter of 1807 to 1808. Unfortunately, Colter left no written record of his journeys. People came here for wealth. Fur trappers, known as mountain men, trekked west in search of beaver for fur top hats that were fashionable in the early 1800s. Many trappers, including David Edward Jackson, based their operations in this area. The valley we know today as Jackson Hole was dubbed Davy, Jackson's Hole, in 1829 by William Sublette, Jackson's trapping partner. The beaver population declined rapidly with overtrapping, and when fashions turned from fur to silk hats, the era of the mountain men faded away by the 1840s. Even though the Homestead Act of 1862 encouraged settlement of the West, homesteaders did not arrive in Jackson Hole until 1884, becoming the valley's first year-round residents. Over the next decade, many settlers established homesteads. Conditions were difficult, however. The soil was sandy and rocky, the winters were long and cold, and the summers were dry. Homesteaders struggled hard to raise crops and ranch cattle. They became desperate as an agricultural depression swept the country around 1920. Wealthy Easterners enchanted with
by the West visited Jackson Hole to have an authentic cowboy experience. Homesteaders began to shift their operations in 1908 to accommodate these privileged visitors. Eastern dudes, which were men, and dudenesses, which were women, paid handsomely for lodging, food, and the use of a horse and other outdoor activities. Local ranchers quickly realized that dude ranching was more profitable and easier than traditional cattle ranching, which led to the golden age of dude ranching in the 1920s. Development began to crowd Jackson Hole. Cabins, gas stations, dance halls, billboards, and racetracks sprang up in front of the majestic Tetons. Local ranchers and businessmen wanted to preserve the valley as a museum on the hoof and eliminate the unwanted development of the open spaces. They held a meeting in 1923 at Maud Noble's cabin, settling in motion the conservation and preservation of this mountain valley. In 1926, John D. Rockefeller Jr. toured the area with Yellowstone Superintendent Horace Albright. Rockefeller fell in love with the majestic mountain scenery and began purchasing private land throughout the valley. Over the next 2 decades, he amassed 35,000 acres through the Snake River Land Company, with the intent of donating the land to the federal government to be part of Grand Teton National Park. Local residents became concerned when they discovered Rockefeller's involvement. Transferring control of the land to the federal government meant a loss in local tax revenue, an issue finally resolved by a congressional hearing. Grand Teton National Park took decades to establish. Congress created the original park in 1929 to protect the Teton Range and several lakes at the foot of the mountains. In 1943, Franklin Delano Roosevelt declared the remaining federal land in the valley as Jackson Hole National Monument. And in 1949, John D. Rockefeller Jr. donated the land he purchased to the government to be included in the national park. Finally, in 1950, Congress combined the original park, the national monument, and the Rockefeller lands to establish present-day Grand Teton National Park. In 1972, Congress established the John D. Rockefeller Jr. Memorial Parkway to honor Rockefeller's philanthropy and commitment to the national park system. The parkway connects Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Parks.